Good morning everyone and welcome to Trash Talk episode 3. Today we're extremely honored to have with us Mrs Otara Gunewardene, founder of ODEL, Embark and the Otara Foundation, an entrepreneur, an inspiration to many, Chanel herself, and in turn me as well. Thank you very much Otara for coming. It means a lot to us and the whole campaign that we're trying to run here.
Nice to be here.
So as you know, what we're trying to do here is we're trying to create awareness around building a routine to clean the beach. It can be with your morning workout or in the evenings after work, and then thereafter also to try and build a long-term sustainable strategy for this beach itself. We're at the beach today and we are trying to make it a tourist-friendly hotspot. So as a result, this entire segment is basically trying to talk to industry experts and get their opinions on how we can achieve this. So let's get down to that. Alright, so Otara, as this is a morning show and we are trying to encourage people to build it into their routines to work out and clean up.
Yeah.
We like to start off with a question that we find a lot of our audience would take a lot of views from, as well as in particular with you. I'm sure there are a lot of ladies out there who'd like to know your secret as well. Would you care to share with us what your morning routine is like, and if so, how important it is for you to kind of get your day going?
So of course the morning routine is really important, you know, because it sets the tone for the rest of the day. I used to actually work out in the mornings, but now I do it in the
evenings. Oh, okay.
It doesn't mean that I don't swap sometimes.
Right.
But usually in the morning, it's I wake up and first of all, you have to be thankful and grateful for different things that you have or that you've experienced. And then also I do like meditation and prayer and things in the morning.
Right.
Before I go to
awesome.
the office.
And do you also believe in kind of setting certain tasks that you want to achieve on that day itself in the morning? Do you sort of think on those lines as well when you start your day?
Yeah, definitely. But usually it's not in the morning. Usually I do that like the day
before
or the week before, you know.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
I've been very much a goal setter and somebody who, you know, tries to
and I'm sure
to plan and not, of course you can't plan everything.
Yeah.
But I've always planned it. And had different goals I want to achieve, and I still do that even today.
Great. Yeah. For my second question, you've been a pioneer in many forms from a very young age. At a time in Sri Lanka when it was very difficult to do pretty much anything just because of your gender, you've been able to do it better than most other people, and you've also most importantly been able to inspire so many as a result of it. Looking back in hindsight, what would be the one piece of advice you would tell yourself every time you've obviously come with all those roadblocks along your journey thus far?
I think it's the main thing is like to always know that you can achieve it, you know, in some form. Sometimes, of course, you have to deviate a little bit from what your original, plan was.
Yeah.
But I think it's important to know that to have the strength within you. I think is most important.
Right.
Because also, along these journeys, there are various inputs you get from outside. It could be your family, it could be your aunties, it could be just people around.
Everyone
and
around
nowadays,
you.
people on social media.
Of course.
People tend to get very influenced, by what people say around them.
Yeah.
And then you usually change your path or you change your direction because of what other people are saying. And it's really important not to do that and to listen to yourself and to know what's right for you and what you think is right for what you're trying to do or what you want to achieve or what you want your life to be.
Yeah.
Everybody can give you advice, but it's your life and you have to lead it. So I think it's really important to have that strength. It's not always there, and a lot of people do get influenced and change course and change things. Of course, there are circumstances where you get input and if it's suitable and you think it's right, then you use that.
Yeah.
But it's important to know who you are and what you want to do and what you want to achieve and go on that path.
So Otara, you've been a champion of animal welfare and rights from a very young age when there was literally no awareness around it. You took it upon yourself to take on the cause and create the much needed awareness. As someone who's seen firsthand the power of cause-based influence, what would you say in terms of advice to all those around us watching this as to how we could also influence those around us to help protect our planet in any way? I mean, it can be animal welfare, it could be cleaning the environment around us. It's starting to show that we have a lot of influence now, especially with all these platforms.
Yeah.
How would you say we could utilize that for the betterment of our planet?
Well, you know, I mean, I think it's important for each one of us to do our bit, right? It's always easy to point fingers at others and say, oh, you know, why aren't you doing this or why aren't you doing that? But if we want to change our world to be better, we have to be a part of the change. You can't expect others around you to do it if you're not, you know, participating in it yourself in whatever form it may be. And it doesn't mean you have to do big things or you know, like try to create you know, big changes. Even if all of us make even small changes, actually it will be far more impactful than a few people trying to make big changes. For me, it was important to be able to you know, to speak out, to be heard, and to try to show, you know, what for me it was, of course, the environment as well. I speak for the environment as well, but you know, the animals can't speak for themselves, and once you realize what they're going through, if I can change the lives of even some of them or influence others to understand, to create a you know, awakening to change their consciousness of what they what we have not known before. There are many things that I have done as well, you know, from eating meat before to working in the zoo where all the animals were in cages and I never realized how bad it was. So all those things, because we have been conditioned to do things a certain way for various reasons, for profit, for others, for you know, because we thought it was the right thing to do. We were convinced by you know, by corporates and media that it was the right thing to do. But you know, we are far more intelligent than that now.
There's a lot more information out there.
Social media has, of course, changed so much you know, for all of us. We can see and make choices by ourselves now, but by stuff we see, we can put out stuff that we want to speak about. So I think it's important for each one to, you know, even if you can influence and change 10 people, it's still better than doing nothing. Definitely. And so I think, like what you're doing and what many others are doing now, I think is so important for us to change the course of the world and the planet for the better.
Awesome. So following up, Otara, on that, you've been someone that's built a multi-million-dollar empire, and you've also now kind of deviated onto following your passion. To our audience here, there are many of us who are stuck in our 9-to-5s, who are doing our daily jobs, which we also have to do. But at the same time, would you be able to tell us how satisfying and how fulfilling it is to actually follow up on a cause, something that you're passionate about? Weighing the two, what would you say you've enjoyed more and why?
Well, you know, it was always, for me, everything I did was always what I was passionate about, even the business, even the fashion, you know, even the retail. I loved it. It was something I really, it filled my, you know, it should fill your heart every day. Whatever you're doing should fulfill and have some sort of impact on your heart. We are always taught, you know, in school and in universities, and especially in the past, you know, to shut that down and always think with your head and mind. I mean, of course you have to do that too, but I think it's really important to do things that are fulfilling for you and really make your heart smile. And so for me, actually I started the business because I wanted to raise funds to help elephants. The wildlife department was doing a conservation project, and I started making t-shirts so that I can raise funds to contribute to that project. So that's how ODEL started, really.
Oh wow.
And
that's great.
and so I kept wanting to sell more and do more so that I could raise more and more funds to do that. So right throughout, you know, the time of ODEL, I used to always, you know, fund different projects and do a lot of awareness campaigns and things. But then eventually it came to a point, you know, 25 years later, where I felt, okay, now you know, my true passion was really, as a child, was environment and animals, and you know, wanted to make a difference for that. And I didn't have much time on my hands to do a lot on that side, even though I was doing Embark during ODEL. So that's why I decided, one of the main reasons I decided to that it was time probably to move out and follow my other passion.
Right.
So there, I think it's important to do that. Obviously, you need the money to live as well. So there is a balance that you have to do. So like you say, you can probably do both at some time.
Yeah.
But eventually, you'll get to a point where always listen to your heart.
Definitely, that's awesome advice. So Otara, during your time at ODEL, it was known as one of the most happening places in Colombo. And your team has been extremely successful in making it so trendy. I mean, what we are trying to achieve here is something similar. We're trying to get people to come to the beach as much as possible. And we're trying to think of innovative and fun, trendy ways to kind of get people here. Like you just said, you've been here before and you've seen how bad it was just a month back. In your opinion, what could we do here at this beach to kind of encourage more people, both local and foreign tourists, to get them over here onto the beach?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's so much cleaner than when I was here, I don't know, less than 2 months ago, I think. So that's good to see, the change. Yeah, there's so much you can do, like from different events of people coming and doing whatever, yoga or exercise programs or some sort of things like that, which people can join and come and be a part of it. And I think, I think it's important to get more and more like-minded people, to come, and then of course you have to bring those who would never have thought about coming here as well, and making it really visible. I think it's really important, because that's how when people start to see it, and then come here. But when I think even if you start small, it might grow.
Definitely,
and, especially nowadays with social media, and you can make things far more visible and get more and more, engage more people to come and join and participate.
Awesome, thank you. So Otara, as you know, this entire project is community sourced. Every single suggestion we've got has been from our community on Instagram. We started very small, and in keeping with the theme, I opened up to our audience to ask a question from you. So today's question has come from Silanese Decor. Their question is, tricks to keep going against the stress of building a brand financially and mentally. What would your input be for people? I mean, you started a business at a very young age, and of course today's generation, everyone's starting up their own side projects and stuff, and obviously there is a lot of stress that comes. Advice you would have for the younger generation?
I think I know them. I think I bought something from them at the recent market.
Oh, lovely.
Well, I think it's also important to be healthy and strong. Earlier I spoke about being strong within. For me, it was really important to be fit as well, and to have mental stability and mental clarity. And of course, I didn't drink, and I didn't go out late all the time and things. Of course, yes, sometimes. But as the business grew, it was difficult to do all that, and for me, it was really important to stay focused on what I wanted to achieve. I think have small goals is really the main thing. I always had big ones, but I had smaller ones.
Yeah, kind of breaking up them into smaller tasks.
One of my biggest goals was really to build ODEL to where the petrol shed is now.
Right.
So even though I'm not doing it, obviously
it's getting there. That's awesome.
So dreams and visions do come true.
And are those things that you set out and kind of put out there publicly, or are those more things that you keep internal until you see them?
More to do with what I had internally. I used to have mood boards and vision boards and goals and different things. Like I would have yearly goals, monthly goals, weekly goals, different things like that. And if you ask the people who work with me, I always had these notebooks that I used to walk around with so many notes and points of things to do. So I think that's really important as well, to always have a checklist of things you want to do and where you want to head, because otherwise you're just running around sometimes in circles and you don't see the direction. For me, that's what was really important.
All right, Otara, thank you very much for coming on board and sharing some very valuable insight with our audience. We really appreciate you taking the time today. This entire series, we hope to be continuing on it and trying to create as much awareness around it. So we'd also like to thank our camera sponsors, Canon, for the production of this entire episode and the episodes to follow. And yep, if you guys are interested in this series, please do subscribe to our channel and follow us on our Instagram page to get involved with the project itself. It goes as itswellabeach. So yes, we hope this episode has been of value to you, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much.
What's your excuse?